Alright, so now I'm recording for the YouTube video and streaming at the same time. Here we go. And we're going to load in our commands. So welcome to the TitsRP video where I'm going to be yapping and spawn. And these guys are going to appreciate the rules and reading and all that stuff. So yeah, the legendary lore. And we're going to pull out the MOTD rules in a second here. We're going to go in front of a random AFK. Let's see right here. This guy right here is AFK. Or no, loading in. This guy is AFK. So we're going to go do this. And make sure my job's set up correctly here as well before I do it. Alright. And oh, it's not AFK. But you know what? I'm still reach an AFK. Who's a real AFK in spawn? Alright. Come on, I gotta find an AFK somewhere. Alright, this guy, male 7, no. But these guys though? Yeah, I think they're AFK. So I think they're
No, those guys up there are E-fucking, bro. They're not AFK.
Yeah,
they're just E-smashing.
Alright. Anyway, so it's time to read the rules out. And we're gonna do it. Alright. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. General do and do nots. Hello, welcome to our server. Below, you can find all our rules. Not reading the rules is your own fault. Our rules differ from most servers. Do use common sense. If you have a question to ask if it's against the rules, it probably is. Do be respectful to everyone. Do try your best to help others in a time of need. Do report rule breakers on the forums. Do speak English since this is an English server. Do you have some sort of video recording software? If you have some sort of video recording software if you ever report anyone? Do trade at your own discretion. Do report bugs, exploits, using them at your own advantage. Not reporting them will have you banned. Do you listen to staff even if something isn't explicitly mentioned in the MOTD? Doesn't mean it's okay. Do call staff if you see someone breaking the rules. Do warn users either 3 times in /advert or once using the E menu, giving at least 3 seconds before defending yourself. Do try to walk into the person who RDM'd you before calling a sit. Do not RDM. Do not minge. Do not prop block, prop surf, prop minge. Do not prop block. Do not be a dick. We're all here to have fun and play the game. Do not advertise or participate in any trades on the server on our platforms that involve trading anything outside of our server for any currency of our server. An example: Steam game or PayPal, or for Dark RP cash, sugar dollars, or in-game items. Do not attempt to loophole any rules. Just because something isn't written down doesn't mean it's okay. The staff have the final say in the sits. If you disagree you should appeal on the final decision on the forums, not in-game. Do not do violent thefts. Example, player A shoots and kills player B because they're holding a printer. Events like golden printer are an exemption. Do not RP and spawn unless you're running through a RP in an RP scenario. Do not use racial, homophobic, general offensive slurs or overly offensive to other players / staff. Do not constantly vulgar in OOC. You'll be warned and kicked / banned. Do not block off unique NPCs. Everyone needs to get to them. Do not raid the same person over and over again. Pick on someone else. Everyone else in a while. Do not raid public bases. Some people just want to chill. Don't ruin their fun. If they don't have no goods in the public base, boomboxes aren't count as goods. Do not attack a base member while raiding unless you're both within eye shot and reasonably close to the base. Do not kill bait. Baiting people into doing something solely so you can kill them without a roleplay purpose is RDM. This includes bases that are solely designed to kill people for trespassing. Do not counteraction before getting involved. Example, attacking a cop before he knows that you're associated with the person he's arresting. The cop should know that you're together to prevent confusion. Do not counter, overtake, or interfere with RP scenarios that you're not involved in. Example, killing a cop for cuffing someone or warning a raider to stop raiding your friend. Otherwise, you might be counter-raided that action. Do not warn people for general actions such as walking down the street, looking at them, or being near them. Do not revolt against the PD without an actual RP reason. Be specific with your reasoning. Do not bind different adverts to one message. You will be asked to change it. Example, raid / mug / heist / bank raid / kidnap false / over is fine. Do not switch jobs during a raid or other RP interaction. If you switch jobs in a raid, for example, the RP situation is instantly over. You must stop. Do not incite other players to break the rules. Do not call staff without a specific reasoning. Example, admin to me is not allowed. Hey, player X is mass RDMing right now. Can you help out? Is allowed. Do not call staff constantly spamming the admin chat with you. You will get kicked / banned. Do not custom class scam content, including slots and perms, more than $1 million dark RP cash, or any amount of sugar dollars. Do not use the boxes to play your rape, racial slurs, racist content, or overly sexual content. Do not take rule violations to your own hands. Someone else breaking the rules doesn't mean you mean to get to, and you'll get punished too. Do not abuse your VIP rank. This includes false banning / kicking. Calling bans and kicks while staff members are online. Abuse can result in your VIP being revoked. Do not warn players to leave when they are using a public item / NPC for its intent purpose. Alright guys, it's time to go to the NLR rules. We're 5 minutes in. NLR exists. NLR and the examples of NLR are cool timers. Alright? NLR exists. Please use your best judgment to determine whether or not it's best okay to return to the place after death. Most people do not care if you die in a hit at the PD and come back. People will care if you die in a raid and come back. If you want to play it safe, don't return to your place of death until the time is up. No one likes a sore loser. In this section, there are examples of what is considered NLR and doesn't usually matter to most people. If you die in a raid / heist, it simply is over. You cannot come back and continue defending unless you died to a natural event. If your raid is interrupted by a natural event, such as a train being teleported by a pickle statue or a sit, any raid cooldown timers are void. You may restart your raid immediately. During the kill VIP event, defend your vault, golden printer, retrieve the package events. There is no NLR and if you're trying to attack / defend the event. NLR applies to all other situations during these events. This does not mean you constantly raid the same base if the golden printer is inside. Time limits. Raiding cooldown. There is no cooldown if you can raid the same person again within 20 minutes. Max kidnapping time, 5 minutes. Max raiding time, 10 minutes. Max bank heist time, 20 minutes. Cooldown for raiding for the PD, 15 minutes. NLR time limit. Read NLR rules above until the raid is over or heist is over. NLR examples. Going back to the road that you died on to a hitman to see your friends. Allowed! Going back to the friends you died on the hit to kill the hitman. Not allowed! Jimmy is going to Jimmy's house after the raiders raided it and killed him. Not allowed! Jimmy's going back to Jimmy's house where raiders were raiding after you died. Not allowed! Going back to the defend as a heist as a civil protection after you died. Not allowed! Going to the PD as a cop after you got killed by a bounty hunter. Allowed! Going back to the PD as a raider after you got killed by a mugger. Allowed! Going back to the outside of your base after you died in a raid and watch the raid. Not allowed! Killing the raiders and away back to the base after the printers with your printers after you died. Not allowed! Finding a raider's base after you died, raiding them, and you're securing your printers. Allowed! Alright, this is the Warren / level corresponding ban section, alright? Warren's levels of Warren's punishment. If you're hecking dumb enough to get warned, you're gonna get slapped down. 15 warrants equals 1 week. 25 warrants equals 2 weeks. 35 warrants equals 1 month. And 50 warrants equals 6 months. That concludes the warrants levels corresponding ban section. Alright. Terminology. Common RP terms with the descriptions. The terminology we use, examples of one of each. Alright, for those who don't know the common terminologies, here we go. In RDM, Random Deathmatch. RDA, Random Arrest. TitsRP, No Intent to Roleplay. LTAP, Leave to Avoid Punishment. In CNCAP, change your name to avoid punishment. FDA, Fading Dwarvies. NLA, Non-Lethal Abuse. A/RDM/RDA, attempt to RDM/RDA. R/RDA/rate RDA rate advantage RDM/RDA. I/RDM/RDA intentional RDM/RDA. Prop climb, blocking all areas without a way to get in using a pick, lock, or key cracker. Prop climb, using props to get in places normally you can't get to. KOS, kill on site. AOS, arrest on site.
Shit,
Examples:
it's all
RDM, John
over.
kills Billy because why not? This does not include the death matches that are involved in the job. Example: minions killing Groot. RDA, John arrests Billy because why not? This includes random arrests. That's the deal with RP. In LTIRP, John freezes Billy in a prop. He made the call to call a derogatory term while doing it. This shows that John has no intent of playing on the server. LTAP, John kills Billy for no reason. Before he hops off for the night, once he kills him, he leaves immediately. CNTAP, John kills Billy for no reason. Changes his name to avoid punishment, to avoid being caught by the staff member. FDA, John is getting raided by Billy. And instead of using the key cracker, he opened the door to the raider picking, and he uses the keybind to open it quickly to kill him. Prop block. We forget that, my boy Prop block. John is printing money and blocks off his house, the printer with 50 bathtubs, to make sure no one gets to it. Gets to them. Prop climb. John is raiding Billy's house
What are you doing,
and sees
bro?
he's opening at the top of the structure.
Rude.
He builds a stairway using props to get inside the house.
Can you stop being
In
rude?
LA,
I'm trying to
John
look
sees a
for
hobo
meth
begging for money and starts spamming his non-lethal pistol at him. KOS, John sees a hobo, kills him on sight for being wanted. AOS, John sees a hobo and arrests him on sight for being wanted. Alright, illegal activities, guys. For those who are doing illegal activities out there, be careful. You could be arrested for these actions. Legal activities. You could be arrested for these actions. Assault/murder. Killing / attacking a user outside of self-defense is illegal. You can result in non-lethal actions of police. Kissing is considered assault. Raiding, having the intent to invade another person's home, whether you're being harmful or not. Trespassing in someone else's house should be considered a raid. If you leave the district for any reason, your raid is over. Mugging, someone who presses the E menu for the Pacific jobs. Stealing, unlawfully taking possession of someone's property, such as a boombox or other entities. Kidnapping, knocking someone unconscious with or without the intent to kidnap them. Disturbing the peace, causing a disruption in public place or highly populated area.
I'll give you a sample.
Making drugs,
Dude, you're in
possession
Spawn.
of drugs,
What are you-
making entities, plants, and legal seeds,
I'm cooking
or a meth lab
cooler,
are
man.
all grounds for arrest. Having printers, making money entities such as printers and mini printers
one
are
batch
legal.
at least.
Printers are legal unless specifically otherwise by the mayor. Having a firearm without a
I
license.
thought you took a
If you're
break.
searching and possessing a weapon without a license, you
What?
could be arrested. Police need a valid RP. A problem will
I have
cause
to
to
remove
randomly
it.
search
To hurry.
illegal weapons.
Why?
The example: you advertise illegal items
have to
slash
hurry up,
services
'cause it's
for
in
sale.
Spawn.
You garnish a weapon,
Okay,
a
here,
guard
I'm
firearm,
past
or
this.
you have
I
an
need
active
something.
bounty. Weapon modify weapons or upgrade
No,
legal
the
status is
storage,
illegal.
you took the storage
Possessing
away.
weapons, using or possessing a
Fuck, my
processor is
bad.
illegal. Hacking as a
Alright, I
hacker
got it.
job.
Don't need
Hacker
it.
job is not
Okay,
legal,
I'm
but the
gonna-
action of hacking something is. Selling a solicited of goods, advertising illegal entities such as drugs or seeds is illegal. Being AOS at jobs, Groot Abomination, Mr. Snuffy, and Serial Killer. If your job is listed as
to be
AOS,
quicker.
arrest on site, you
has to
can
be quicker.
walk
It's
up
gonna get
to any
removed.
time within any reason.
Whoa.
Prank calling emergency services. Making prank calls or
What if I
false
remove-
reports to civil
Come on.
protection may result in you being
It's almost
arrested.
done.
Performing
I think
any
you should
illegal
wait for it to be
activity may
100.
result in the consequence such
This
as
is
being arrested or fined. You may even be killed if you resisting an active threat such as assaulting or killing people. Resisting
the next
arrest
step.
may result in death. If you present a threat to an officer, allowed to fire back if fired upon. It goes both ways. All right, advert times. All right, adverts are allowed or not allowed. Advert rules. Not only the two actions that are allowed
gotta
without
hurry, finish
adverting
it,
PD.
before it gets
Jailbreaking
removed,
and
hurry.
hacking any PD panels, including the one in the front.
It's gonna get
Miller's
removed.
office.
Hurry.
If entering the PD involves breaking through a prop of fading doors, is considered a PD raid and must advertise it first outside of the PD. Your adverts must not be misleading or require the end of the message with an advert type enclosed. Examples: cops are stinky. PD raid. Example: adverts that exist. PD raid, bank heist, Warren Kingdom raid. Over. This is not required, but encouraged. Adverts that do not exist. Steal, ThtsRP related adverts. Hands tied, weapons stripped. Serial killer. Murder, kidnap, raid, counter mug, hit accept, decline, accept, completed / fail, assist,
I
crossfire.
have to remove it.
Any that you attack
I'm gonna let him finish.
any
before
you
I
killed my
remove it.
party member variant must do local / Y to defend any party member in the RP scenario. That concludes the advert rating rules. Basing. Rules related to failed bases. Basing rules. These rules and guidelines related to build basing, and mega basing. General basing rules. You may only base with one spot at a time. While raiding or defending a base, you remain within the raid district.
Access these.
The base is there until the raid is over. You may base with a maximum of 6 players. You must be in front of the door to defend the base from a raid. You must be in front of the front doors of the base before the raid starts and defend it. You may encounter a raid as a cop if you're in the front of the doors and outside of the base at the base. You may counter as a cop, raid counter as a cop if you're not in front of the doors and outside of the base at the start of the raid. Trespassing makes you KOS. This means if you trespass someone's house, well, you will die. If you defend the public base, you must be warned to leave first. To own a base, you must claim most of the doors, not just the front door. Do not build, remove, replace, or dupe or spawn remove props during a raid. Do not destroy your entities during a raid to avoid them being stolen. Do not fade door abuse. This means using a bound key to toggle the door during any RP scenario, such as kidnapping, raid and arrest, etc. If your base has a flag outside, you must own the front doors to the base. The flag must be visible from the outside of your base at all times. You may not use / hide inside, no collide props / entities to prevent yourself to other being damaged, raided, etc. Damaged, raided, etc. There we go. Basing building rules. Alright guys, so those who try to build bases in Tmod, in this server specifically, you better follow these rules, because these are very important rules. Do not clip, prop, block, or hide yourself, your entities, your goods must be accessible in some way. Keypads and buttons must be in plain sight and next to the door. Your base must be a clear path through. This means that no full blackout, super dark bases, invisible bases, or maze bases where the path is not obvious. You may place a building site outside that prevents you from being invaded. Do not spawn, drop, or use illegal or raidable entities, including loot boxes. With a building sign up, otherwise the sign is null and void until you can be raided. Building signs must be clearly visible at all times near the front entrance of your base. Use font size or larger to be seen. Do not add gas signs to your base, using no loading signs instead. You must give the trespasser a minimum of 5 seconds, not 4 seconds, guys, but 5, to leave before killing them. Your loitering sign may extend to the sidewalk in front of the base of your base, unless your base is in high traffic area or in District 1. The owners of your doors must be clearly visible to everyone at all times. You may use a maximum of 3 fading doors to protect your entities. Bank vault or other raidable double fading doors counts as 2 fading doors. Triple fading door counts as 3. One-way props are allowed. Your base must not exploit a head-foot glitch. If you shoot your head, it must be visible to able to shoot doors. including any body part. Do not leak coal, please. Your base must not require local special tools, prop climbing, or moderatable a single person using a leapfrog key tracker. You may not build a base suspended in the sky, a sky base, unless you are the builder job. The builder job can only public bases using the entity because it is TitsRP. Common sense applies when you can build. You may not build on top of the roof of a base unless you're in front of the front door or have permission from the owner of the base. Do not abuse non-lethal entities built when building your base. This means using any other than for the intended purpose. Do not use rapidly flashing colors or strobing lights, which may trigger players with epilepsy. Do not build on the street or the sidewalk and limit delays, restriction the movement of vehicles, players, in high traffic areas such as near the PD. Mega basing rules, guys, alright? Mega basing rules that are prohibited in the following districts. District 1, District 3, District 5, District 8 includes the chill zone but not the outermost island. Mega bases may not take over the large portion of the map. Example, the entire sewer system. You must have 3 members of the party of the same faction. 3 hobos, 3 crips, 3 aliens. 2 mega base unless you're the king. Your group must at least have the front door of every house in the mega base in that area. Mega bases may not block off any unique NPCs or any NPC that is only that part of the type of the map, such as the harvester buyer or cereal statue. Public basing rules, guys. Alright, public basing, a public base is the place where all doors, or such as the a public base of a place with open doors, such as a cafe.
Wait, don't steal it.
A public base is a place where open doors, such as a restaurant, cafe, hospital, theater, etc. For your base to be considered a public base, it must be accessible to everyone, with the exemption of fishing bases. You must place a sign indicating it as a public base. The sign must be visible near the entrance. Public bases should try to avoid interfering with PvP mechanics. One-way actions for combat purposes, no collide, walls to hide behind, forcing people to crouch and zigzag and counter volts, bounties, hits, etc. is not allowed. You may not have illegal money-making entities inside a public base at any time. If your public base is in District 1, it must have a function. Restaurant, cafe, hospital, theater, etc. And just not for the aesthetics. You may base in the chill zone if it may be in the chill zone if it must be a public base accessible to everyone. Fishing bases are limited to 2 tree crackers and 1 fading door. This entire base mostly see-through, and you may not have entities of any time inside, with the exception of boomboxes. The waterfall bases in the sewer must be a public base and aidable to by all public base rules. Alright. How to be a good player on TitsRP. Here we go, guys. Examples of a bad player. Calling staff that he doesn't know how to change jobs. Calling staff because he called them a hurtful word. Calling staff because someone killed him. Calling staff who could explain the only part of the issue. Calling staff when the mayor adds a harsh law. Calling staff that prevents and arrested then the accident or purpose. Calling staff when he needs a door unowned. Arguing with a player in OOC. Not listening to staff claiming a rule that doesn't exist so they can do it. Reporting players and or the staff that have no evidence and conclusive evidence. Alright, examples of good players, alright? Asking a player how to change the job in chat or in person. Reading the rules to see if his base is allowed, his base, by the way, is allowed, and getting other people's opinions. Reading the rules and description to see what his job does. Hey guys, I'm being a good player. Let's see. That's awesome. All right. Voice chat, text chat, avoiding players when you get called a bad word. Examining the situation to see if they died. Asking the player to see if the player had killed him. Calling staff with the most detailed, preventable downtime and confusion. Revolting against the mayor with a harsh rule is made. PMing a cop who arrested them when they randomly got arrested. PMing the player who owns the door to see if they own it. taking a heated argument to local chat or PM chat, accepting what the staff tells them, and if they have an issue with it, they make a poster on the forums explaining what they think and what they were in the right. Reporting players/staff with video evidence, guys. All right. So my fellow party gang my fellow party parties and gangs out there, we got some rules for you. All right, here we go. Rules related to the parties and gangs. Rules related to the parties and gangs. Using party/gangs combat other than people usually result in confusion. Just because you're not in a party/gang with someone, doesn't mean you're automatically involved in their situations. Here's how to do it correctly. You must be in a exclamation point party to someone to assist in an RP scenario. Being in a gang does not count. If you're not going to kill someone because they're attack your party member, you need to make sure that you're together before you assist in our roleplay scenario. Local chat/Y or not OOC or advert or /voice. Not doing it so will cause confusion and will likely result in the sit no one wants. This applies to reading as well. Being in a party or gang doesn't mean that you will die or be raided, kicked, harassed by your own party and gang. Do not call staff members for the internal issues you're dealing with unless it becomes a serious problem such as toxicity or harassment. To deal with situations with roleplay, you aren't role-playing together, or no reason to suspect that you're connected in any way, it makes no RP sense to randomly pull out a gun and shoot them. Examples of a bad party/gang member. Sniping a player from across the map because his party member got mugged.
He's been doing it for like
attacking
days.
the player because someone killed
like
the
3
party
days ago.
member, and nowhere it rolls
he
it, so that's
does.
not biddable.
Come to the
Calling
RDM
a
arena.
staff
Come to the
when
RDM
there's
arena.
party/gang
Come to your mom's
just
house.
Come to the
to
RDM
raid
arena
them.
so I can fuck
Calling
you
a
up.
staff member when there's a party/member
Let me double
party/gang
mag into you.
to kick them because he gets paid $500K to be there.
double mag.
My ball was
Examples of a good party member,
you'll
party
quit.
member/gang
Wait,
member,
wait.
guys. All right.
You're
Running up to the player who
Don't
killed
trust
the
me.
party member, telling them that they're about to die for killing the member.
I am
Running
partying.
to the cop,
I'm
handcuffing
shitting and
your party
laughing
member
right
for
now.
role playing with them, fishing, mugging, kidnapping players together, etc. All right, civilians, we got some rules for you. Here we go. Rules related to the various citizen jobs. Citizen rules. Rules related to various citizen jobs. Basic description. You sell items, complete tasks, just as a regular citizen to survive. But raiding and heisting and mega basing aren't allowed, but we got some rules here to read out to you. Bank manager and bank guards may not be based with heisters or assist with the raiding the bank. Bank manager may not keep his bank private for only his friends. Medics can assist in raids. Mr. Bones not KOS, and a kidnapper gets kidnapped because of him. Do not place in item shelves in the middle of the streets / block main areas with them. While we understand that we want to get a lot of people to see your stuff, you're selling it also frustrating to have it shoved down our throats. If a staff/player is asking players are asking you to remove it, then do it so. Selling guns in your gun stand for outrageous prices for the sole intent for either scamming noobs or catching people off guard. So what happened to misclick your gun stand is not allowed. All right, cops, we got some rules, including the mayor. All right, Mr. Mayor, if you're listening to the town, we got some rules for you. All right, rules related to the cops and the mayor. All right, rules related to the cops and mayor. Basic description: you protect and serve the people of the town, guys. We feel protected and served. Here we go. Raids and heisting aren't allowed for you guys, but mega basing is. Default PD area restrictions unless the law is stating otherwise. Outside PD, non-restrictive. Inside PD lobby, non-restrictive unless on lockdown. Past the PD lobby, restrictive and results in arrest on site or kill on site if the user is considered hostile. Inside mayor's office, restricted. Kill on site. General cop rules. Cop/mayor can base with users that are not committing illegal activities. Criminals. Police cannot arrest, handcuff, stun fellow officers within RP Exemptions exist to avoid RDM/mentioning. You cannot raid assist criminal. You cannot assist criminals or commit crimes. Cops are required a valid warrant in order to raid a base. Raiding a base without a warrant is fail RP unless the door is open and they have committed a crime. Always try to arrest people instead of gunning them down to promote a better RP experience. Use your judgment when deciding to kill or arrest a criminal. This is an RP server. More RP, better experiences for everyone. Cops with cuffs are not KOS unless they're swinging their cuffs at you. Random weapon checks, excluding checkpoints, are not permitted unless you reasonably suspect that the person is committing a crime. Example, verbal threats, garnishing weapon, advertising illegal activities, etc. Random weapon checks are considered hostile actions, and that you may fight back. You may hold checkpoints to perform random weapon checks at the checkpoint as long as there is one clear way around it.
Shut up.
Your clear checkpoint may not result in a portion of the map or an NPC accessible without going through the checkpoint. Checkpoints may only be placed in the district tunnels and must be operated at all times. Rare rules.
Is that Tinky
Winky? I can hear your voice right now, as you cannot assist criminals or commit crimes, my man. As rare rules, you make laws something that officers can enforce. You cannot make rules that are outside the players/civil protection and kill each other. You cannot make KOS laws outside of the PD, Mayor. You cannot add laws that require the cops to have permission in the mayor's office.
Nobody cares. Keep speaking if you suck.
If you make
Keep
sure
speaking if you
law,
suck, big long scurfy monsters.
Example.
Keep
John
talking
Steven,
if you suck,
22,
big long machines.
because he's my friend. Your laws must follow some sort of RP guidelines. Making them stupid will result in you being demoted
Why
or
you
kicked.
stuttering, bro?
No one
Why you
likes
stuttering?
the dumb mayor. Your laws must not be so harsh where other players leave the server. They will vote you out as unfair mayor, which you will be demoted. Making lockdowns that do not have a valid RP are not allowed. I.e., it's chaos out there.
There's no way this is a real person.
I feel it. Lockdowns should only be active during RP events, and I am a real person. Care tax, abomination rampage, and bank raids, etc. As Nerd here is reading the rules out, laws that target an individual group, class, job, or person, make your laws general and make them affect the entire town. You can restrict all areas of the map besides the fountain in the front of the PD. Do not force people to be there. You can only have a maximum of 2 districts restricted at once.
You smell that?
Not make walls and hinder civil protections from doing their job properly. I.e., cops can't handcuff criminals, and you can't use the stun guns to make fines at least $1 function to the law stating no arresting. PD is KOS to everyone, including the civil protections. You cannot make a law that forces people to hold a certain item, i.e., you must have your keys out for your AOS.
You don't have to have your keys out for your AOS.
In the AOS or fine. You may not force a player to change their in-game name, or
you can do that. That's not actually a law. You can do that. It's okay.
You may not make jaywalking laws or laws that require players to move/not move.
You can make jaywalking laws. It's fine. Don't listen to this guy. He's making stuff up on the spot.
This is an RP server. Please use RP.
Yeah, I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about.
Right.
Examples of good laws. People without firearms license will be searched.
who removes
The
jaywalking.
sewers are unsafe, not sanitary. For your safety, they're off limits. Walking past the second door in the bank will result in a fine. Melee weapons are finable if you do not have a firearm license.
Need some water?
Lockdown during terror attacks, revolts is dangerous outside. Cops might check weapon to look into illegal items. Cops must show the battalion before entering the mayor's office or KOS. PD is KOS to non-cops. Examples of bad and punishable laws. 10 is immune to all laws. Swearing is a 500k fine, guys, or AOS. You must change your in-game item, in-game name to _ and serve the police force serve on the police force. Sprinting, jumping, flying, crouching is a 500k fine for AOS. If you're holding keys, gravity gun, fizz gun, tool, you're AOS. All fines are 20k. Groups of 2 people or is loitering AOS. If you're not crouching, you're AOS. If you do not jump when you see them here, you're AOS. Printers are illegal. Not having a gun license is AOS, even if you do not own any weapons. You can kill it. Incoming! RDM is legal. Having a bounty is AOS. Cops can arrest you for looking at them. If you are walking into the street, you're AOS. Jaywalking will result in a $500 fine. Across the street corners and across.
What if this was just pre-recorded? And he's getting the last laugh right now, watching us stare at him as we're just listening to a pre-recorded thing of him reading the rules.
You must have the watermelon prop in front of your face. They're rateable. Cops randomly handcuff, stun, etc. Mustard. Weapon checks and bounty, etc.
Fuck! Jesus
Walking on
Christ!
sidewalks is illegal. Using text/voice chat is illegal.
He has to be AI, bro.
Must be X phrase that guy's saying an AI when I'm not AI. And talking in the chat AOS. Yeah, look at lockdown and everyone else outside of the is AOS due to
he put the laughs in the AI.
How are you flexing?
You must change your job to underscore quotation marks in order to serve the police force. Alright, that concludes the cop rules. My fellow thieves out there, we got some rules for you, alright?
Stop making shit up.
Rules related to the jobs and rating. Thieves/raids. Alright, rules/raid rules. Raids related to the various jobs. Basic description. You can steal from people and break into the bases. Raiding and heisting and mega basing is allowed. But as well, we're going to include the rules as raid districts that are defined by the entrance of each district by the tunnels. The tunnels themselves act as no man's land between the districts. Alright, we got District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8, and District 9. During a raid, you may go anywhere in the district and go to defend your raid. However, you may not kill anyone in the district that isn't involved in the raid. Raid counters and takeovers are not allowed, and someone who's just existing in the district should not be default KOS to you unless they are in the doors or interfering with the raid in some way. Someone you leave in the district. Once you leave the district, the raid defense is over. If you die while defending the base, you may not return to the base until the raid is over. Returning to the other side of the district is fine. If you're not spectating and interfering with the raiding base... Alright! Not gonna happen. You're not gonna move me, because I'm still gonna read the rules to this guy, because he needs to understand the rules. I'm sorry. Alright, here we go.
We don't need to read the rules.
I don't care.
Please.
You're not gonna make it. For this purpose, for punishment again, I'm gonna read this section again. Here we go. All right, thieves and raiding rules.
Okay.
Rules related to the thieves and rules and raiding. Thieves/raiding rules. Rules related to the various thieves jobs. Basic description: you can steal from people and break into their bases. Raid, heisting, and mega basing are allowed, guys. Raid districts. District raids are defined by the entrance of each district by the tunnels. The tunnels themselves are not as no man's land between the raids. District 1, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8, and District 9 are the following districts. During a raid, you may go anywhere in the district to defend your raid. However, you may not kill anyone in the district that isn't involved in the raid. Raid counters and takeovers are not allowed, and allowed somewhere just existing in the district should be not KOS unless you are on the doors interfering in the raid in some way. Once you leave the district, the raid defense is over. If you die while defending the base, you may not return to the base until the raid is over. Returning to the other side of the district is fine when you're not spectating or interfering with the raid. When raiding the base and sewers, when you enter the ring surrounding the sewers, the counts as leaving as the district. common sense when rating for how far is too far from the base when rating. The only exception is when chasing down an external defender. Kingdom is its own district. Leaving the kingdom during a raid will end the raid. Raid rules do not apply to PD and bank raids. General raiding rules. Raid counters and takeovers are not allowed, except for the PD, bank, and kingdom raids. You must advert for PD, kingdom, and for bank and kingdom raids. Normal raids and base do not need an advert. Bank heisters cannot base for bank heisters can't base with bank managers / guards. Killing the cop / mugger who just to find you after you pay is a fail RP. Killing someone to save them being fined / arrested is fail RP. You may not call a raid or a PD kingdom bank. You may not call a raid or PD bank or kingdom when being inside said building. The raid must start from the outside. You cannot call bank a PD / bank raid for the sole purpose of killing people inside the lobby, preventing access to the lobby. If you're a raid PD / bank, you are there to kill the mayor. Kill the raid, vault, and bank, or break people out of jail.
Stop reading.
You cannot reuse the Thomas the Tank via train grenade, fishing, etc. For raiding purposes, as is considered a natural event. Alright, hobos out there, we got some rules for you. Alright, here we go. Hobo rules.
They're not
rules
real
related
rules.
to
Don't
basing
listen to
in the public base. Hobo rules related to the hobo
Don't
job.
listen to this
Basic
guy,
description.
and you don't
Beg
have
for
to know the
money
rules.
or forcefully take it. Raid heisting are allowed for you guys, but mega basing is. Hobos cannot build in the street, but can build on sidewalks or other public areas. You cannot build in the sidewalk, and if you're not a hobo, except for civil protection, you can build the road sidewalk for roadblocks or crosswalks. You may build a fountain.
Blocks?
You may build at the fountain as
Roblox?
non-hobos, given as the following conditions: must not block any
Roblox?
NPCs, must not take up too much space, cannot be kidnapped cage unless you're a hobo or not a cultist. If your base complain about it, and will be removed if the following is legitimate. And at the end of the day, it is completely up to staff to remove your props. Your houses can have multiple layers. Essentially, prop climb with your
Do not RDM. Do not
You can
mint.
legally own guns by
Do
the
not
default.
prop climb / prop surf
you may
flat
not raid.
/ prop minch.
You can legally own guns
Do
by
not
the
prop
certificate
block.
you may not raid.
Do not
the
be a
Hobo Lord
dick.
is
We are
ability
all
to
here to
make a
have
base
fun and
by
play the
itself
game.
if you need to.
Do not
You may not mic spam
advise or
sexual
participate
content
in
to
any
annoy the attention
trades on the
of
server
users' ears,
or our
extremely
platforms that
racist,
involve
hateful
trading
content.
anything outside of the
You
server
may
for any
spam
currency
anything
on our
as a
server.
hobo class, as long as
Example,
it's
a
not listed
Steam
as
game
not
or
allowed.
PayPal for dark
You
RP cash, sugar dollars,
mic spam
or
as
in-game
another
items.
Job. If the audio is played as related to the job's models RP. If the audio is to be not RP related, you will be looking for a way to mic spam something stupid as a non-hobo, then you'll be asked to stop. Good examples: playing the Joel theme as a shark, pig noises as pig, or a combine chatter as a combine soldier. That example. Mic spamming loud music as the job ear doctor to check if everyone's ears are working properly. Gang rules. Alright, gangsters. We got some rules for you, alright? Gang rules for jobs and the purpose of the gang. Gang rules. Rules related to jobs to operate as a group or gang.
Rules.
Basic
Citizen
description.
rules.
Join together
Rules related to various citizen jobs. Basic description: you sell items, complete
Basic
tasks,
description,
and
you sell items,
just be a regular
and-
citizen to survive.
Raid as heist and mega base.
Raid, heist, and mega base. Bank manager and bank guards may not base with heisters or
base with heisters or
bank manager may not keep his bank private or
keep
only
it
for
private or only for
And we also got prop surfing and sky basing. The king
also
cannot
got prop
override any of the
surfing.
following rules. In a
King
LAR,
cannot
basic
override
is
any of the following rules.
Mr. Bones is not KOS when
Fail
a kidnapper
RP.
gets
We
kidnapped.
also
because
got prop,
do not place
block,
items
and anything
into
that
shelves
listed
in the
as
middle of
allowed.
the streets.
Pleasant
Right.
trips for
Block
KOS to
main
each
area
other.
isn't
Any
allowed.
crossfire
While we
may
understand
be
that you
treated as
want a lot
RDM.
of players to see
Any
the stuff that you are selling,
group
it's also
operating
frustrating to
job
have it
may
shoved down
assist
their
the fellow
throats.
job
The
names
staff
without warning if they're
players
being
are
threatened.
asking you to move it.
Alright, we got some mercenary rules, alright?
Selling
Rules related
guns
to the
in your gun
mercenary
stand
jobs.
for outrageous prices with the
Rules
sole
related to
intent
the
of
mercenary
either
jobs.
scamming
Based on
nukes or
description, you
catching
get
people
hired
This
to
product
protect
contains
something.
nicotine.
Mythical
Nicotine is an
gun
addictive
hunting is
chemical.
not allowed.
Raid and high sync aren't allowed, but mega basing is allowed.
During
Hitmen
a
do not
raid,
need to
you may go
advert
anywhere in the
except
district to
you-
defend your raid. However, you may
accepting
not
completing
kill
for
anyone in the
failing.
district
He
that
doesn't
isn't
use
involved in the raid.
You must not
Raid counters
must
and
advert
takeovers
PD
are
raid,
not allowed,
bank raid,
so
kingdom
someone
raid,
just
win raiding
existing
a
in the
target.
district should
The mere
not be
stats
deemed
Draw
a raid.
16 won $800,000 from the
They
law.
are on the door
Kingdom
interfering
raids
with the raid
when
in
raiding
some way.
for a target.
Interfering
and
with
you
the raid
must
in some way.
destroy
Once you
property
leave
to
the
get
district,
through
slash
target.
you end
defense.
the raid
If
slash
you
raid
die while
defense.
defending the
Mere
base,
stats
you may
don't
not
only
return
kill
to
the
the
cops
base
base, you
until
inside
raid
of
is
the
over.
base.
Returning to
base
the
until
If
other
it's
raid is
defenders
over.
are
self-defense,
trying
the
to
other
turn up
The
the
other
getting
side
or
of the
interfering
district.
Following
with
rules
when
are
raiding any
allowed
base in
to
sewers.
raid
When you enter the
target
ring,
only
this
carried
arrest
out to
sewers
job
is counts as
functions.
leaving the
You
district.
cannot
Use
interact
common
with
sense when
entities
raiding for
inside
how
the base.
far it is.
Hitman, bounty
Jesus
hunter,
Christ.
master stalker, assassin, and other mercenary jobs. Alright, for some weird jobs out there, we're gonna read some weird jobs, alright? Alright.
I'm telling you, this is
Weird
all
jobs
he
are
Only
does.
leading
He's
to
been
weird
doing it for
jobs
like
when
3 days.
chasing down an
crafts.
external defender.
Basic description.
Kingdom
Super
is
weird.
known.
Take pictures of
Leaving
me
Kingdom
out.
during a raid will end the
Something
raid.
that makes
This is what he
Papa
does.
233
Raid
proud.
district.
He went out 7.
Raid
Now I'm 11.
icing are not allowed, but mega basing is.
I'm
Is
about to actually
General
fucking
raiding
murder.
rules.
That boy got the
Masters,
Raid
prison.
counters
stalkers,
slash
and master
takeovers
stalkers
are
are
not
subject
allowed.
to AOS if they're
Exception
caught
for
stalking.
PD, bank,
Master
and
stalker
kingdom
can break
raids.
in a LAR.
You
and
must
assign
advert for
target.
Get him on,
PD,
I
bank,
actually-
and kingdom
That's
raids.
like
Can
Big
I-
Pooh.
Normal
And Pets and Big
not
Pooh
need an
cannot
advert.
own guns, but
Bank
can
heisters
Did you say
cannot
Master
base
Stalker can
with
break
bank
NLR?
manager
being
slash
revived
guards.
as a necromancer does not mean you can continue as a high
Killing the
slash
cop
raid.
slash
You
mugger
can lose no
will just
second
find
chances.
you after you
If you're
pay
playing as a necromancer,
LRP.
review as a hostile
Killing someone to
NPC,
save
you're
them
you
from
are
being fined
KOS.
slash arrested.
Due to
is
the fact
LRP.
that they do not have a job
You
function
may not
outside
call
of
raid a
respective
PD,
play
bank, or
areas,
kingdom
the sewer
while
lord
being
and
inside
sharks,
said
but
building. The
not
raid must
crabs,
start
are
from
not
outside.
bound
You
by
cannot call
NLR
PD
unless
slash
they
bank
are
raid for the sole
infecting a
purpose of
raid.
killing people in the lobby slash
Sewer
preventing
Lord
people
is
from access to the
KOS
lobby. If you
inside
raid the PD
sewers,
bank,
and dying by him inside
Yeah,
the
read
sewers
the
is not
sign,
considered
buddy.
an
Read the
RDM.
sign, buddy.
you are
Stupid.
Read
to
the
kill
sign,
man.
buddy.
Stupid job
Raid the
rules.
vault.
Yeah,
Or
stop,
break
stop
people out of
fumbling,
jail.
bro. Stop
And
fumbling, bro.
grenade.
You
Read the
As
cannot
guys
sign,
are
buddy.
saying
use a
stop
Thomas
fumbling,
the
I'm still
Train,
gonna
who's a
read this.
Thomas grenade, fishing, etc.
Read the
Dumb
For
sign,
raiding
job
buddy.
rules.
purposes, as it is
Rules related
considered a
to dumb
natural
jobs
event.
such as piss babies and the abomination. Basic description.
Piss
Jobs
ba-
that
what
were
are you
added to
on
make
about,
you lose
mate?
your brain
What are
cell
you
and feel
chatting?
stupid.
What are you
Raid,
reading, bro?
heisting, and mega
You're not in
basing are not allowed.
school.
General job
Read.
rules. The abomination
Stop
is
reading,
War
KOS.
of
bro.
1812.
Minions and Groot or KOS kill on sight to each other. Chucky and Jigsaw are KOS
Alright,
to each
bet,
other.
bet. I'll change the
Anyone
sign,
who's
watch.
Chucky
I'm
can
gonna stop this guy
KOS,
talking.
make KOS, as well as Hobo,
related to
Jojo
terrorist
Hunter,
job.
Stalker,
Yeah, but
Pickle
this guy
Cage,
sits on the
Minions,
XP right now.
and
Who's this?
Stalker.
That medic?
Pickle Cage, and
He might
Serial
actually leave
Snatcher.
spawn.
When committing
Fear Catcher
terrorist
is not
attack with
permanent to raid.
exclamation mark
Therefore,
terrorist dog.
you
Dude, I
can
can
only
may
see
not
get
this
raid a
whenever.
player
Whenever.
after
5
summoning a
minutes.
trade on them.
Alright, there you
Still
go,
alive
mate.
after
As
that
There you
opposed to
go.
time,
swapping
you
a
can kill
job and
civilians.
conduct a raid after spawning
Walking up to a
a trade
terrorist
and
within
someone.
yell
You
range
must
during an
wait
attack
until
is
the
not a
train
good idea for
explodes.
civilians.
Pickle Cage is
Doing
not
this may
permitted to
possibly
use his
result in lethal
entities'
falls from a terrorist.
abilities to assist with RP
Terrorists
scenarios.
must
Example,
slash yell,
teleporting
telling them
the
to
king
get
or
away.
mayor to the statue to help him with an assassination.
Party assistance is
Having
not
a train
allowed for
summoned on you
non-terrorists.
is
If you
considered
want
a
to
natural
RDM,
event.
become a terrorist.
It is
You
not
may,
RDM.
however, passively
Alright, kidnappers,
assist
you got some rules
by
for you, all
healing
right?
or
So
giving them items
kidnappers.
to use
Rules
if you
related to
support
jobs
their cause.
or CCs that can kidnap. Rules related to jobs that custom jobs
Terrorists can
kidnap.
only commit
Basic
terror
description: you can
attacks
kidnap people
outside,
and make
on,
them
or
your
above
slave.
solid ground.
Raiding and heisting aren't allowed, but mega basing is.
Terrorists can
Raid and
Terrorists
Kidnapping
cannot use
attempting
All together, all together, all together. Bro, how long did it take to read that, buddy?
It-
Come
it
on,
read-
buddy.
it
You
read-
little shitter. You little shitter. You can't even read a book, mate. You can't even read a book, you idiot. Go read a book.
Kidnapper gets kidnapped because
even read a book,
of
mate.
him.
read the
Kidnap
mic.
bases may have 5
Wait, shut
total
up. You're
fading
reading
doors.
as well, mate. What is this guy doing? Is he not
The main
bored?
room of 3
He
cells.
does it all week. I'm just
Kidnap
imitating.
This is what's in American
No, he doesn't. He does this all week.
He does. He does it. It's insane, bro. He gets
Yeah,
on
someone
here.
push him out of school.
He's
Push him
on
out of
here like
school.
every day. Every day he's reading rules.
Alright!
Push
Since I'm
him out of
being
school,
moved,
Batman.
I'm gonna be reading this again because you cannot
this is
move
Gabe
me.
Newell.
I'm gonna be reading the rules again. Alright, here we go.
Right, do it outside of spawn.
Nope. I'm gonna be right here. And I
Do
do
it
not
outside
care.
of spawn,
You
bitch
know
boy.
what? I'm gonna do it right in front of this guy, and I do not care. Alright, here I go.
I do not care. I do not care. I'm a nerd.
Move
Here
his
we go.
ass.
Here we go.
Alright, here we go. I'm center of attention.
And we got
No, you're not
kidnapping jobs, rules related to the kidnapping jobs, basic description
Quit, let's
classes.
go, let's go.
Alright.
Alright, go on.
We're gonna go out.
Keep
there
pushing
again.
him.
Getting RDM'd.
Alright, we're gonna read this again. Alright, we're gonna read this again. We're gonna read this again. No one's gonna stop me. Alright, AFK, we're gonna read this. I'm gonna read the rules to you on this kidnapping side. Alrighty. So, let's see here. Kidnapping rules. Rules related to the jobs, custom classes that can kidnap. Basic description. You can kidnap people and make them your slave. Raiding and heisting aren't allowed, but mega basing is. Alien race, and you can raid as a heist, those all 3 together. Kidnapping kidnapping people makes you KOS as long as you're a threat to everyone around you. Mr. Bones is not KOS, and the kidnapper gets kidnapped because of him. Alright, reading the rules again. It doesn't matter how many times it takes, I'm gonna reread the rules again. You cannot stop me, Coconut Overflow. I'm gonna do this again. And it doesn't matter how many times this happens, you're gonna lose brain cells, and I will do this all day. So here I go again. This is your punishment, everybody. The TitsRP nerd shall get what we deserve to read the rules. Alright, kidnapping rules. Rules related to the jobs such as custom classes that can kidnap. Basic description. You can kidnap people and make them your slave. Raiding and heisting and mega raiding and heisting aren't allowed, but mega basing is. Alien race, it can raid a heist of all 3 together. Kidnapping and attempting to kidnap people that makes you KOS if you're a threat to everyone around you. Mr. Bones is not KOS when a kidnapper gets kidnapped because of him. Kidnap bases may have 5 total fading doors. 2 leading to the main room, 3 cells. The kidnap bases are bases that only store kidnap victims. If you have any other raidable entities, they must follow standard basic rules. In order to kill your kidnap victim, you must bring them to your base first. Kidnapping them in the street, when waking them up in the street, killing them is still RDM. The serial killer does not have to own a base to be able to kill their victims. You may kill them in the street where they're only class exemption. Terrorist rules. Here we go. Rules related to the terrorist job, either as a group or solo. Rules related to the terrorist job. Job is description. You can commit terrorist atrocities for the sake of your good cause. Alright, we got raiding, heisting, and mega basing allowed. But when committing a terrorist attack, when exclamation points terrorist start, you can only kill cops for the first 5 minutes, and if you are alive after that time, you can kill civilians. Walking up to a terrorist while in range during an attack is not a good idea for civilians. Doing this possibly may result in lethal force from a terrorist. Terrorists must use /Y, telling them to get away. Party raiding is not allowed for non-terrorists. If you want to RDM, become a terrorist. You may, however, passively assist terrorists by healing them, or giving them items to
Why are you still reading, my guy?
Terrorists can only commit terrorist attacks outside or above the solid ground. Terrorists cannot commit terror attacks in the building, underground, in the ocean, or oceans in the ocean, or islands on the ocean. Terrorists cannot use vehicles.
Turn on the boombox.
Terrorists may not build or inside or mega bases for any private bases during a terror attack. Terrorists may raid a mega base when not being on active terror attack. If you're in a terror attack when on off limits, do not attack unless you're in self-defense in a head of the closet area allowed for terrorism. You will be not in trouble if you follow this. If you not follow this rule. If you follow this rule. All right. We got some miscellaneous rules, guys. Rules that generally do not have to be said, but are here anyway for people who need to see them. Common sense rules. Rules that generally do not have to be said, but are here for people that need to see them. Gameplay tips should be treated as a mix of both tips/advice. For the class and rules of how the job should be played. Obvious rule-related gameplay tips should be treated as rule sets for that class. Example, Batman should not kill people. Do not force a player to get stuck. If you can't move, it's an RP. Do not kill people at NPCs without an RP reason. If you're shot at, you're allowed to fire back unless they miss. If someone is allowed to perform their job functions correctly, example, cop let a friend have a gun without a license, you can slash demote them. The rules against you, example RDM, you could get demoted when highly suggested calling a SIP. Contact someone before calling a demotion, calling a slash demotion on them for breaking rules against you. If you're unsure to ask staff assistance. And alright, staff assistance. By lowering people's frames in front of intentionally lowering people's frame rates with a ton of moving materials, flashing materials will have been punished. Teleporting behind someone makes you KOS for the person you teleported to. Spawning props in a base, then making them no gravity before letting them fly isn't allowed. It ruins some people's FPS. It is dumb in general. You may request a staff member as a middleman for a large $1 million transaction plus for this service to be defendable on staff availability. Loot boxes are entities, and you cannot open in the base when basing or prop blocks. Macro external program scripts are not allowed.
What information do we collect? We collect
Wait, hold on. No, I actually learned something important. I actually learned important
personal information that you voluntarily provide to us when you register on TitsRP.com, connect to the server, or when you participate in activities such as posting messages in our online forums.
I learned you can't open loot boxes in your base.
Isn't allowed.
Personal information that we collect depends on the content of your interaction with us, the choices you make, and the products that feed you.
If you wish to PD raid,
the personal
you
information
still
you
will be
collect
required
may
to call
include
PD.
the following: IP address, Steam ID,
raid
email
after
address.
existing for the PD
We may
entirely.
also collect your
You may
name,
not
phone number,
fight
mailing address,
self-protection
contact
and
preferences, billing
self-defense
address, and other
and
similar
party
information
assisting
if you
inside
make a
PD
purchase.
unless you are raiding.
Or
Example: Hobo's allowed to sneak into the jailbreak with his friend out. Once he's spotted, he can run, but cannot attack the officer if he's attacked.
Roblox.
If the player has been gone for excessively 30 days without prior notification, you can revoke their custom class permit slot without being subject to being scamming rule. It's highly suggested that you record their game tracker. The recommendation method is via screenshot at the time of the verification for prevention of future issues. Do not modify a job name in a way to give you an unclear advantage. Roleplay event. Example, custom class name Civil Protection. Using the model to look like a civil protection to gain an entry to the mayor's office. Terrorist attacks.
Hey guys, me and Nerd are gonna have sex. Hey, me and this dude are gonna have sex.
Drinks a civil protection potion and changes his job inside the his job name to Secret Service before raiding the PD. Report someone within 2 weeks, or we will not take action if they amassed RDMs 999999999 players. Reports will still be accepted for extremely serious offenses, such as they break the law or a case-by-case basis. If we determine that
Do
you
not
have
abuse
information
your
from the staff,
VIP rank by false vote banning / kicking.
held this information from staff
This
for the
includes
purpose of
vote
blackmail
banning /
threats
kicking for
or
RP
similar
reasons.
reasons that
Vote
you will
banning
not
/ kicking while
you
staff
will
members are online is
receive
not allowed and can
punishment
result
equal
in a
to
vote
whatever we
restrict.
decide to do to the player
Do not
you reported.
call
Staff
multiple
will
votes.
interfere your
If your first
not
vote
interfere
does
with
not
your personal
pass,
loans.
reconsider the
Give money
reason
to
you are
those you
calling a
trust,
vote or make
or
a
accept
player
collateral.
report
Do
instead.
not spawn dues
Abuse of the
and
vote
contain
system can
explicitly
result
implied
in your
Nazi
VIP
imagery
being
or symbols of hate. Alright, that includes the miscellaneous section. We got the vote,
If you're shot
kick
at,
/ banning
you're allowed
rules.
to fire back.
Rules related to kicking
Even
/
if they
banning
miss.
after other users.
A little bit.
Alrighty. Vote kicking /
Do not
vote banning
force
rules.
other players to
Players
get
with
stuck.
the VIP
If they
rank
can't
can vote
move,
a kick
it's not
can vote
roleplay.
to kick or simply ban players who are breaking rules. Vote banning / kicking
not
should
spawn
be only
dudes that
used when
contain
staff aren't
explicitly or
online to
implied
help.
Nazi imagery
Do not
or other
abuse
symbols
or
of hate.
VIP rank by false vote banning, kick / kicking. This includes vote banning / kicking for RP reasons.
While
Vote
staff
banning / kicking while staff members are online is not allowed can result a voting
can
restriction.
result in a vote restrict.
Do not
Do not call multiple
votes.
votes.
If your first
vote
does
does not pass, reconsider the reason you are
If
calling
you're
a vote or make
you
a player report
instead. To
Abuse
abuse
of the
the
vote
system can
system.
result in your VIP rank being revoked. Alright, we got the terms of services, alright? Terms that you agree, these terms and conditions, but by playing our server and or using any of our online services. Last updated, September 27th, 2024. 0.1. Agreement to terms. To use any of these services we provide, you must be 13 of age or older. You agree by accessing TitsRP.com, our game
Assault
servers,
/ murder,
and any
killing / attacking
any
a
services
user outside
should be
self-defense
provided.
is illegal.
You should
Big
read and
babooty
understand
bitches,
and
big
agree
babooty
to
bitches, big
abound by
babooty
all the
bitches.
following:
Assault.
terms of use,
Raiding.
privacy policy,
Having
form
the intent to invade
rules
another
and
person,
guidelines,
and so
darker
on,
P
whether
rules,
you're being harmful
online
or not,
shops
trespassing someone
terms.
else's home should be considered
and
a
YouTube
rape.
terms of service.
smell like you fart.
https://www.youtube.com/t/terms.
You smell
0.2
like you
prohibited
fart.
activities using our services you agree by found these terms of any of the following activities. 0.2.1 systematic
You smell like
retrieving
you
data
fart.
or server create a collection of data of for any reason. 0.2.2 trick or defraud or mislead us by using
You smell like you fart.
exclusively information such as passwords. 0.2.3 circumstance disabled or otherwise interfere securely related features of TitsRP.com and our servers. 0.2.4 harass, abuse, or harm any other person using any information obtained from TitsRP.com, our servers, or elsewhere. 0.2.5 the support devices improperly or to use false reports to abuse or misconduct.
You smell like you fart.
0.2.6 using TitsRP.com, our servers inconsistently with the inapplicable laws or regulations. 0.2.7 advertise or offer to sell goods and services on TitsRP.com in our server, unless otherwise permitted on Players Services discussion forum or Players Services Discord channel. That is the exemption. 0.2.8 attempt to upload or transmit viruses, Trojan horses, or other material that interferes in any party's uninterrupted use of TitsRP.com in our servers. 0.2.9 use scripts, data mining robots, similar data gathering tools to send comments or messages. 0.2.10 sell or otherwise transfer your profile on TitsRP.com to our servers. 0.2.11 interfere, disrupt, or create unintentional burden on TitsRP.com, our servers, networks, and or services. 0.2.12 harass, annoy, intimidate, or threaten any of our users or staff. 0.2.13 bypass measures of TitsRP.com and our servers designed to prevent restrictive access / restrictive access. 0.2.14 use TitsRP.com and our server to unauthorized way collecting usernames, email addresses, and our users for the purpose of sending unsolicited email to creating our accounts by automatic means or under false pretenses. 0.2.15 use, distribute, to develop or software tools, scripts, or modifications that provide an unfair advantage to exploit the game or disrupt the general gameplay on our server.
Bro, are you still going?
And a violation of one or more of these terms may result in the temporary or permanently suspension of your account. If you do not agree to these terms, you expressly prohibit using our services, you must discontinue use immediately. 0.3 exploitive content. The extent of these rules regarding exploitive content may be explained upon at any time, without a notice, at full discretion of the staff team in order to protect our users and services. 0.3.1 we have zero tolerant policy for grooming, predatory behavior, content that afflicts disseminative child abuse, child nudity, or sexual exploitation of children in digital or real life format is prohibited. 0.3.2 exploitive content, whether it's reported to us, detected through automatic moderation methods such as chat filters, automod, etc., be removed and the account will be terminated. Additionally, will we report to cases to NCMEC and law enforcement as appropriate. 0.3.3 the discussion of any prohibited content as well as the other forms of potential exploitative content through private messages, name calling, and accusations without a proper report is prohibited. You should take action to report this content and do not attempt to take matters of your own hands. 0.4 custom content. Custom content is defined by custom content is defined added to the server players to use the custom class. This includes but not limited to player models, sweeps, sounds, and materials. Before purchasing any custom content, you must agree to the following terms and conditions. 0.4.1 custom content will not provide any roleplay or PvP advantage. All custom class weapons will be reskins in weapons which are already in the server weapon base. 0.4.2 purchasing custom content that does not grant you any special perks or benefit on the server. It is purely cosmetic. 0.4.3 if your custom player model contains broken, invalid hitboxes, it may be removed without notice. A replacement model of equivalent lesson file will be provided at no charge. 0.4.4 in order to minimize the number of files the players need to download in order to join the server, your custom content would be removed from the server if you go inactive for more than 30 days. You may request the content to be ran at no charge, maintaining your play time activity. 0.4.5 if you're permanently banned from the server, your custom content will be removed from the and your purchase will be void. You cannot restore it. 0.4.6 if your custom swap content does not contain valid world or view models that we use in the base weapons model instead of unless it is provided as a replacement. 0.4.7 sound files should cut at least to a minimum of 3 seconds. And normalize to remove clipping. Obnoxious sounds will not be added. 0.4.8 chargeback for custom content will result in your account being permanently banned and your purchase will be voided. 0.5 online shops terms. Engaging in transactions through our online shop, purchasing virtual items using payment services such as PayPal is governed by the following terms. 0.5.1 purchase application reserve the right to revoke any shop or purchase or solely discretion without prior notice for any reason that we deem appropriate. 0.4.2 bans and purchases application. If the user is permanently banned from the community or server due to any violations of our community standards or other terms, any purchases made by the user may be revoked without a possibility of a refund. 0.5.3 chargebacks. Initiating a chargeback will result in a permanent ban from our community and servers. Access to reinstate only the chargeback issue is resolved to our satisfaction. Refunds will be given to any service unless granted otherwise. Alright, privacy policy. A bunch of legal mumble jumble about the data we collect and how we use it. Alrighty. Last updated. Updated March 27th, 2025. What information do we collect? We collect information about you provide to us. We collect personal information that you voluntarily provide to us, which you register on TitsRP.com. When you register to TitsRP.com, connect to the server, or when you participate in activities such as posting messages in our online forums, making purchase on our store. The information that we collect depends on the content of your interactions with us, the choices you make, and the products you feature, features you use. The information we collect may include the following: IP address, Steam ID, email address. We may also collect your name, phone number, mailing address, and contact preferences, billing address, or other similar information if you make a purchase to our donation shop and send money to us through PayPal. This data is necessary to provide your payment if you make purchases. All payment data is stored by PayPal. You may find privacy notices links here: https www.paypal.com, US applications, apps, MMP, UA, privacy full. Information we automatically collect. We only collect information that is provided to services to you. If you make a purchase on our store, you agree to grant us access to whatever information you provide PayPal, excluding your credit/debit card number. This information is primarily stored in the servers that we keep our records, and each transaction prevents fraud. When you sign up for an account on our website, the information we collect includes login usage data. Login usage data and errors associated with your account depending on how you interact with us. This log data may include your IP address, data information, device information, browser type, setting, and information about your activity on TitsRP.com. Device data. We collect the data about the device you use to interact with our servers. Data location data. We use third-party services through the invasion power services to associate your IP address to a general location. Usually this includes this is a location of your ISP, not a home location. We use this to detect alt accounts of users not shared for third parties by us. How do we use your information? We use your information we collect and receive to send administrative information to you as part of our efforts to keep our website and game servers safe and secure. For example, fraud monitoring and prevention. For enforcing our terms and conditions and policies for business purposes to comply with legal and regulatory requirements. To respond to legal requests to prevent harm. If we receive a subpoena or a legal request, we may need to inspect the data we determined how to respond. Fulfill and manage your purchase orders. We may use your information to manage your orders and payments made through PayPal. To respond to user inquiries. Offers support users. To respond to user inquiries, offers support to users. We may use your information to respond to your inquiry to solve any potential issue you may have with this use of the website, our website, or game server. Will your information be shared with anyone? We only share information with your consent, but to comply with the laws provided with the services you provide to protect your rights or fulfill basic litigation. We may share your information with anyone that only required by law. We may disclose your information with legally required to do so in order to comply with applicable law, governmental requests, and judicial proceeding, court order, or legal process such as a response to a court order or subpoena, including a response to public authorities to meet national security or law enforcement requirements. We may inspect and close your information to investigate, prevent, take action against fraud and threats to individual privacy or safety as evidence of litigation in which we are involved. Who will your information be shared with? We do not share any data information anyone. We may collect information from the following third parties as for any of our services. Okay, do not share data or collect information. We may collect your information from the following third-party services you use for any of our services. Third-party accounts authentication, Steam, invoices, payments, and billing, PayPal, web and mobile analytics, Google Analytics, and Cloudflare, website performance, Cloudflare.
I bring people back
App,
from the dead.
media sharing and playback, YouTube. What are your privacy rights? In some regions such as the European Economic Area, you have rights which allow you greater access to control your personal information. You may review and change or terminate your account at any time. If you are a resident of the European Economic Area, you believe you're unlawfully being processed for personal information, you also have the right to complain to your local protective authority. If you can find their find their contact details here. http EU Justice Data Protection Bodies, the authorities extended UHTM. If you're a resident to Switzerland and the contact details for data protection authorities are available here. https://www.edodeb admin channel odeb/en/home/html. If you have any questions or comments or concerns for privacy rights, you may email us at rubens.titsrp.com. 6. Account information. If you have any time review the change of your information of the account, if you have any time you'd like to review your change of the information in your account or terminate your account, contact Rubix. Upon your request to terminate your account, you'll deactivate and delete your account for information from our active databases. However, we may retain some information in our files to prevent fraud, troubleshoot problems, assist in any investigations, enforce our terms of use, or comply with applicable legal requirements. Cookies similar technologies. Most web browsers are set up to accept cookies by default. If you prefer it, you can usually choose to set your browser to remove cookies to reject cookies. If you choose to remove cookies or reject cookies, this could affect the certain features or services of TitsRP.com. How can you review or delete data you collect on you? Based on the applicant law of your country, you have the right to request access personal information we collect from you. Change of that information or delete or some sort of circumstances or to require review and update and delete your personal information, please email rubex@titsrp.com. We will respond with your request in 30 days. 7. Media playback and streaming. We use each's API to support in-game media playback and streaming capabilities. By connecting to the server using of any of these features, you agree bound by YouTube's terms of service, and a link of YouTube's terms of service can be found here at YouTube's terms of service at https://www.youtube.com/t/terms. That concludes the rules. Alrighty. I'm going to start